If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. Rumors are swirling, and if they're true, the entire landscape of the NFL could be about to shift dramatically. Picture this: Nick Bosa, the defensive juggernaut and former Defensive Player of the Year, suiting up for the Cleveland Browns. That's right. According to multiple insider sources, Bosa is on the verge of signing with the Browns, a move that would shake the league to its core. And the biggest headline of all, he would be joining forces with Myles Garrett, creating what many are already calling the most lethal defensive end duo in the NFL today, possibly in the history of the game. We're talking about two apex predators on the same line, two quarterbacks' worst nightmares wearing the same jersey. This isn't just a splash move, it's a tidal wave, and if the rumors are true, the AFC better buckle up because Cleveland is coming for blood. Let's take a step back and talk about what this really means. Nick Bosa, since entering the league, has been nothing short of dominant. His technique, strength, and relentless motor have terrorized offenses since day one. Now imagine pairing that with the sheer power and explosiveness of Myles Garrett, a man who was consistently ranked among the top defenders in the league. Garrett alone was already enough to command double teams. Bosa alone was already enough to change entire offensive game plans. Together, offenses might just start sending prayers instead of protections. This is more than a strategic move. This is a statement. Cleveland isn't playing around anymore. They want a ring, and they're building a team to go get it. It's that simple. The Browns front office has been making aggressive moves in recent years, showing they're no longer content with mediocrity or just squeaking into the playoffs. With Deshaun Watson under center, a talented core on offense, and now a potential Bosa-Garrett tandem on defense, this team is gearing up for a full-on Super Bowl push. Defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz must be drooling at the idea of what he could do with these two edge monsters at his disposal. Blitz packages, stunts, pressure fronts, the possibilities are endless. This could be the foundation of a defense that not only dominates games, but defines a season. If Bosa signs, we're looking at a team that won't just win games, they'll suffocate opponents. But what about the rest of the defense? That's the beauty of this potential move. Adding Bosa doesn't just elevate the defensive line, it lifts the entire unit. With so much pressure coming off the edge, opposing quarterbacks will be forced into quicker decisions, which means more opportunities for the Browns secondary to make plays. Cornerbacks will benefit, safeties will benefit, linebackers will have cleaner lanes. Everyone gets better when Bosa and Garrett are on the field together. It's like adding a nitro booster to a race car. It doesn't just go faster, it becomes untouchable. And remember, this isn't a fantasy scenario. This is a very real possibility that's got fans and analysts buzzing coast to coast. There's also the psychological aspect to consider. Teams know when they're beat before the game even starts. If you're a quarterback staring down Bosa on one side and Garrett on the other, your entire pre-snap routine changes. You're not scanning the field. You're counting down the seconds before impact. Offensive coordinators will be forced to rework their entire playbooks, leaning more on quick passes, extra protection, and avoiding deep routes. This kind of disruption doesn't just show up in the stat sheet, it demoralizes opponents. And when a defense controls the mind game, you've already won half the battle. The Browns would instantly gain the kind of edge that makes championship runs possible. Of course, there are always cap considerations. Can Cleveland afford a move like this? Would they need to restructure contracts, move pieces around, or make tough cuts to make room for Bosa's massive salary? Possibly. But when you have a chance to land a generational talent like Nick Bosa, you don't hesitate. You make it work. The Browns have shown they're willing to spend to win. And with their window opening wide, now's the time to go all in. And from Bosa's perspective, joining forces with another elite pass rusher could not only elevate his game, but extend his career. Less double teams, more freedom, and a real shot at multiple Super Bowl runs. It's a win-win. Enjoying the content so far. Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Let's not forget the fan impact either. Browns fans have endured years, decades of heartbreak, letdowns, and dashed hopes. A move like this doesn't just excite a fan base, it electrifies it. You'd see jerseys flying off the shelves, Training camp sold out in minutes and social media going absolutely nuclear. Cleveland has always had one of the most passionate fan bases in the league, and giving them this kind of superstar pairing is like throwing gasoline on a bonfire. The Dawg Pound would become a fortress, a nightmare for visiting offenses. Bosa and Garrett would be the new face of Cleveland football, and the fans would rally behind them like never before. And let's talk legacy. Myles Garrett is already on a Hall of Fame trajectory. Nick Bosa is building his own path toward Canton. Imagine what they could accomplish together. Multiple Pro Bowl seasons, sack records, Defensive Player of the Year awards, and most importantly, Super Bowl rings. This could be a duo we're still talking about 20 years from now, showing highlights of their destruction on NFL Network retrospectives. For both players, this is about more than money. It's about greatness. It's about etching their names into history alongside the Reggie Whites, the Lawrence Taylors, and the Bruce Smiths of the world. Together, they could build a defensive dynasty. Of course, the league wouldn't just sit back and watch. You can bet the Ravens, Bengals, Chiefs, and every contender in the AFC would be watching this move closely, possibly even adjusting their own plans. A Bosa to Browns signing would trigger a ripple effect across the NFL. Teams would scramble to reinforce offensive lines, coaches would rethink playbooks, and suddenly the road to the Super Bowl would go through Cleveland. It's been a long time since we could say that seriously. But here we are. That's the power of one move. That's the power of a Bosa-Garrett duo. So, whether you're a Browns fan, a rival team, or just a lover of football, keep your eyes on this story. Because if this rumor becomes reality, we're not just talking about a free agency signing. We're talking about a seismic shift. Nick Bosa to the Browns, Garrett and Bosa. Two of the most feared defenders of the modern era on the same line with one goal: domination. And if that happens, the NFL better be ready, because Cleveland isn't just aiming to compete, they're aiming to conquer. And with those two leading the charge, they just might pull it off. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!